I am resident of Colorado for YouTube. Jules Staines, that's my buddy Patrick McCray, that's my buddy Alan Gallant, that's my buddy Daniel Culver. We are here to continue our James Bond movie review with Live and Let Die, which is Roger Moore's introduction as Bond, directed by Guy Hamilton, screenplay by Tom Mankiewicz, based on Live and Let Die by
That
Ian
name
Fleming.
Mankiewicz, man, always
Yes,
rings of good things, or
yes.
almost always rings of good things.
Are they related?
Tom Mankiewicz, I don't know. I'll tell you in a minute. Joseph L. Mankiewicz was his daddy.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah, yeah. And
So
I
he's
think
from
isn't it his grandson that does the Turner Classic Movies or American Movie
Ben.
Classics? That's Ben,
Yep.
right? I
Yep.
think he's related somehow. I don't know if it's grandson or great cousin or something. Yeah.
Produced by Harry Saltzman, Arbor Broccoli, starring Roger Moore. Yafet Kodo is here as the villain, baby. Jane Seymour,
Great.
Cinematographer, yep, by Ted Moore. Let's see, music by George Martin. Release date June 27th, 1973, United States, June 12th, 1973, United Kingdom. Budget 7 million, box office 1.8 million. Guys, first of all, I usually ask you, when did you see this? I'm going to change it up. What did you, because I always find this Bond really culturally different, and I love it for that reason. What did
It
you guys
is, and
think of
it's and there's reasons for that too, for
that?
the period of time. One of the biggest reasons is because the so-called blaxploitation flick era had begun, and they were immensely popular films, and also to dovetail that into the sort of multiculturalism of the locales that the series had already kind of established, and you've got a ton of African American and Afro Caribbean actors in this particular film, and it's great. It's fantastic. It gives it. I like the texture that it gives, and in the whole film, it's just the coolest thing.
Now, Alan, you were about to say color accidentally. I'm seriously. I saw you because it was the most natural thing, not in terms of skin color, but just then I saw you texture.
Texture is
Texture.
better.
You chose texture.
Texture is better.
That's all right. I understand.
Unless I said it in an Archie bunker, you know.
It had a lot of color.
But culturally, this is probably the most expansive yet.
It is. It is, and it's risky in that sense. It's because, and the biggest risk is looking square. I think the biggest risk is not being offensive. It's looking
square and maybe falling flat with expanding the audience.
Yeah, like we're trying to be in tune, but
right.
But I don't think they missed the mark.
No, it doesn't. It's really cool. It's still spooky and mysterious and it's it's immersive.
Yeah,
culturally immersive in the Caribbeans and also the sort of New Orleans stuff and
yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, even starting with the funeral.
Yeah,
you are seeing what feels like a very authentic slice of culture, because it was.
It was.
In a very authentic place. And it is what you're expecting, and it completely isn't. And that's great.
Yeah,
that's
it is
really interesting.
Daniel, what did you think, man?
I'd say you guys have good points, and like on, back then, time, unfortunately, things were different. So, yeah, this was, a huge risk, which it's good they took that risk, but, like I said, some people might have had a problem with it because of the time period.
This was the perfect time to expand it, as it turned out, in retrospect. But it was risky. It was risky at the time, sure.
I think at least it was, at the very, very, very least, it is a very dignified acknowledgement that there's an entire other hemisphere.
Right. And
More than
the matter, they paid lip service to other cultures because of the locales.
Mhm.
They never really immersed in it like this.
I think it's almost as if the guy said, "Okay, well, let's Live and Let Die. Why not? It's a good title."
Yeah.
And they picked up a Fleming book, and they picked up the book of Live and Let Die, and they went, "Oh my God, we can't do this." And so they said, "Let's do the opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do the opposite because the book." I can't say, Jewel, without you being not only demonetized, but maybe kicked off of YouTube.
Was there any cat tossing in this novel?
No, but I think this is the one that has the title "A Sojourn in N-Word Town."
Oh yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun, crazy.
Yeah.
I'll say this because again, I've never read any of the Ian Fleming novels of James Bond, so I apologize
read
in
a couple
advance.
No, that's
I either.
But I will say, speaking as one half Dark Shadows fans, this is a very Dark Shadows like Bond almost because it gets into voodoo and the supernatural.
Oh yeah, intensely.
Yeah, it's very
Angelique.
supernatural-esque.
Yeah, and that's why I love this movie most because it's taking that risk to get into that and the cultural difference, but it's all about cultural. But I love the fact that it makes sense why this is Roger Moore's debut too, because you sort of need a younger Bond to get into this culture, and Roger Moore fit perfect.
Well, his enthusiasm for the role. Play that against Connery's last one, which he's not sort of up to the task because of personal attitudes and so on. But yeah, the enthusiasm that Moore has as a newly minted Bond is evident from that whole first scene where he's having his sexual peccadillo, but he doesn't want M to know about it because he's going to give him a bunch of crap for it, and which he kind of
got
crap
right
anyway,
behind.
and Moneypenny shows up, he bails him out. So
which is a nice reversal of expectation.
It is her loyalty to him. She knows that he does this, and she still cares about him and is loyal to him. So
in the original script, M finds some incredibly suggestive lingerie. I think maybe missing a crotch or something. I'm not certain. And Q is there, and Q says, "Oh, I believe those were mine," and completely gets Roger Moore out of it.
And says, "Don't sniff those. If you do, there's a gas capsule inside of them."
God, no. Sorry,
I just demonetized you.
Yeah. Where is Desmond? He's not in this.
No, he's not. Not at all. I don't know if he took time off deliberately or he was indisposed or what.
Might have. Because Desmond Llewellyn was, he was still able to sit back fondly and think of, his days of saying, "Don't blame me. I voted for Cromwell." As he was kind of up there, and I think he might have had a heart attack or something.
Maybe he was,
and just taking some time off because Desmond was up there to begin with.
Mm-hmm. But he had after this he had another 12 years, I think, or 10 years.
More than that. Yeah. Oh man!
No, it was 89, wasn't it? Or was it? No, it was 80s. My God, that's right.
That was 99.
99.
Because he was in the role is not enough.
Freaking 25 years left.
Yeah, he was in the role is not enough. In a heartbreaking exit, considering that he would die.
Ironic.
Yeah.
Ironic.
Yeah.
In a bad way. But yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But he didn't die of old age.
He was old.
No, he didn't.
I know.
He died in a car accident.
It's the same. It's the same thing that happened to Orson Bean. He got killed crossing the road. He got hit by.
Oh my God.
90s.
Yeah,
in his 90s. Yeah.
He was a Wilhelm Reich adherent.
Yeah.
Orson Bean. He wrote a book about it called Me and the Orgone.
Me and the Orgone
That's a good book. Orson Bean was a bright man. That's a good book.
Yes, he was brilliant, actually. He was very literate guy. And my parents actually went to see Roar of the Grease Paint, Smell of the Crowd back in '64, I think it was. And they were
Yeah.
looking forward to seeing Anthony Newley in it. He was out that night, and Orson Bean was his
Well, that's a hell of a
and,
substitute.
and he was great. They said he was fantastic.
You can't afford not to. You can't afford your understudy not to be amazing.
Yes, it's true. Yeah, especially if you're the originator and writer. You want to make sure that your audiences are happy regardless of the situation.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is a fantastic bounce back. You know,
It is.
for
They
me.
get so much right that Diamonds Are Forever gets wrong. And it's weird because if you were to read about them on paper, you would assume it was the opposite.
Yes, because it's the return of Sean Connery and Diamonds Are Forever, and unfortunately, it's. I mean, he still has, even not being fully committed to it, he still has presence, obviously, but there's so much else about Diamonds Are Forever that kind of is a bit flat. So, and this movie is not flat for me.
Oh.
It's just like Technicolor in all aspects for me. I love the supporting cast.
No champagne.
Yes,
No champagne.
he's fantastic.
David Henson is great. It's
Yeah,
good to see him as the.
as
Now, how many movies would, because he shows back up in License to
he's
Kill.
Felix in a couple of different movies. I know that.
He's great in License to Kill because he gets eaten in half.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
lower half of his body goes away,
Yeah.
and it's what inspires Bond.
I think that's at the point in time in which Hedison decides to have a career in soap operas. He says,
Yeah.
I've been eaten. I've done this. I've done that. But that's what he did for the latter part of his career. He did.
Well, think about this: 1973 to 1989. How many years is that? That's
26 years. Yeah, yeah. And that was at the point at which he started to look more distinguished, and he went gray and had a gray beard. He grew.
It can't be 26 years.
What, from 73 to 89?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's 16
years.
16 years.
16 years. Yeah, because I was
99. We were talking
I saw License to Kill.
Yep.
When I was 18.
Yeah.
I was born in 71, so yeah.
I saw this film fairly close to it being in the theaters, but it wasn't in the theaters. So it must have been first.
Which, Live and Let Die or License to Kill?
Live and Let Die.
Okay, I wish I had seen it in the theaters.
It was. I had not, but it was fairly close when they put it into some kind of network rotation. It was within a couple of years, I think, 2 or 3 years.
This was an early VHS rental for me.
Yeah, I can see that, absolutely. So this was probably the closest to contemporary that my first Bond, relatively contemporary that I saw. And then I went to see several of, in high school, I went to see a couple of them. I remember vividly seeing Moonraker in the theater with my buddies.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah.
But this movie was close, and I was impressed with this movie. And of course, the theme song is, I consider to be one of the all-time best. It's just really well done. Surprisingly so, because it's McCartney.
It's easy to forget about because we're so used to Shirley Bassey.
Yeah, well, those are some fine ones too. I mean, Goldfinger is really a fantastic theme.
She would have done a great cover of this. I would love to hear her take a crack at it.
But I thought the arrangement of the the symphony stuff was great.
Very good.
So
yeah. Usually I get into production. I'm doing filming first. The principal photography began on 13th of October 1972 in New Orleans, Louisiana. For a while, only the secondary unit was shooting after Moore was diagnosed with kidney stones. Hamilton initially wanted to film in Haiti, which the fictional Saint Martinique was modeled after, but could not because of the political instability under the regime of Francis Papa Doc Duvalier?
Yes, Duvalier. Too close to reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, well, let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to make sure. There it is. So for the, I'm going to get the Manhattan So in the Manhattan where they shot, as a result of difficulties of using real Harlem locations, the street chase was shot at FDR Drive. Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah.
Is that the street chase where after he tells Felix, Felix turns to one of his associates and says, "Get me a make on a white pimp mobile"?
Yeah.
The movie even survives that.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
I think because there's no judgment in
No,
Hedison's
it's
voice.
just he just turns around, says it, and goes back to his work.
That had to be on Edison's part. Edison had to know that was a very loaded line,
Yes,
and just say it, get it over with, and move on.
Yeah.
Moving on. Nothing to see here.
It is a white pimp mobile. I mean, for
And-
that era, it is what it is. It's the brougham windows on the side and the whole thing.
Because
Gorgeous
Roger Moore
car.
was a white pimp.
Yeah, it's wacky. It's a wacky car.
Let's talk about Roger Moore.
Let's talk about Roger Moore.
I just was going to ask you guys, for those who are too young to remember, how good was Roger Moore in The Saint?
It was great.
He was good.
Roger Moore's good in everything. I mean, in his own weird way, he really is.
He always has the sort of savoir-faire. The one thing where he's really earnest in, and this was a series that he did before in the late 50s, early 60s, was Ivanhoe. Mm-hmm. And he's very sort of earnest in that. He hasn't really come into that whole thing that he starts to really sort of sharpen with The Saint and then with 007.
But this, you could call it Ivan's Ho.
Yes.
And speaking of Ivanhoe, Domino, is it? No, it's no. That's
Solitaire.
Solitaire.
I feel terrible for her.
Absolutely adorable. She's like
she's great. She's great.
She's 21.
Bond deserves a spanking from Odd Job of the most vigorous form. Yes. Not a fun one. Given what he does to her. I remember even as a kid, I think I saw that I was about 14 or 15. And this was 14 or 15 in the 80s, which is very different than now.
Yes.
And even then, I was appalled at the card. Essentially, this deceptive rape.
Yes.
Wow. How horrible. What a bad super spy.
Bad boy. Yes.
You don't have a license to
Bond. License to, yes.
And when we see her kind of crying afterwards and all this other stuff, it's just, oh God, why did they have him go there? I will say,
he makes up for it.
He makes up for it. If you want, if you want this tarot deck, you can still find it. It's still in print. It's called the Tarot of the Witches. I can't guarantee it will have the 007 back, although you could purchase it at the time.
Yeah,
it is an actual tarot deck that pre-existed the movie, and it's still available.
Just like that tarot deck that Magda used to use on Dark Shadows is still available. So
well, yeah, that's the Rider Waite. That's a pre-Rider Waite tarot.
It is.
About that, I'm pretty sure that's just the Rider deck. Yeah.
No, it's before that.
I know that. I knew it's pretty old. I think it's from the 1920s or something.
Well, Rider Waite's from the 1920s.
Rider Waite's from the 20s, but the JJ deck I think is from the 19th century at least. I think it's 19th century. The design.
Yeah.
So it's that's actually another French deck, like de Marseille is also.
I just got to say, the Rider Waite is one of the great accomplishments of art. I really think it is. It is so evocative of so many things.
It's very unified in its thematically, it's correct, and artistically, it's nouveau. I mean, it
is properly vulnerable to a vast array of interpretation. There's a lot of richness in so many of those cards, especially minor arcana. Wow, yeah,
pretty cool. Yeah, like the 9 of clubs, which is like the guy tied up in the middle of it with a blindfold on.
Yeah.
It's like, what's that? It's got stuff like that in it.
Have you ever found that in dealing with tarot decks, a certain card comes up more than others for you?
Yeah.
I've had that.
Yeah.
I've had that. And it's real weird.
It is weird. I can remember at one point I had the Tower of Destruction coming up an awful lot.
It was the Hanged Man with me.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. But actually, he represents Odin. It's this completely different,
And it
truth
depends on
behind it.
where it is in the setup and if it's upside
Ah,
down or right side up and all
yeah.
of that. And it has to be, and it's upside down, right side up, facing the person who's being read for.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it can have a great deal of meanings.
Oh yeah, for those that don't know, there's actually different. For anyone that might be confused, there's different ways to read tarot cards.
Yes, there are different
Oh yeah. Oh, so many
different
different spreads.
configurations, and I mean you can do single card readings, and you can do 8 card readings, or you can do all this wonderful stuff. And most good tarot decks come with a booklet, and also
Yeah.
you can get full size books that will tell you the different ways that you can do that.
There's a cheat that you can do, sort of, with the minor arcana, which are the clubs and the pentacles and all that. Each of the suits has sort of a different meaning. So you get those, the 4 down, and then each of the numbers, more often than not, has a suggested meaning.
Yes.
And if you get the general feel for what the number is, and then you get a feel for how that might be twisted a little bit for that suit, you can almost make a matrix out of it. And yeah, that can really speed up your reading. I'm just saying.
Yep. I had my cards read once by a woman that wanted to also know some things about me so that she could associate numerological stuff. So she was doing multi-level reading stuff. It's kind of cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. We've got a community down here about an hour from where I live, which is absolutely loaded with
That's what I hear. It's just
psychics
miles of
and
them.
card readers and all sorts of esoterics, basically. And let me see if I can. Okay. Keep wanting to remember the name of it. Casadega is the name of the town. Cassadega. And it's literally, it specializes in, psychic tarot reading tourism.
My attempt to create a new form of divination, mammarology, was not as successful as I wanted it to be. I'll just say that.
Could you read the slaps afterwards?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry I'm blind, miss. Horrible.
But anyway, Jane Seymour is wonderful in this movie, especially at such a young age. And I don't think she's done a lot of work by this time at all. Certainly,
by this time, no, but she was like
motion
10.
picture. She had done nothing.
She was a kid.
Yeah. She comes across really well. She is a damsel in distress, but she doesn't overstate that,
And
she sort of stays within herself because of the situation that she's in, and that reads nicely.
There's something really interesting about her character having such a history, having such a lineage with this, but being so waspy at the same time. It's this very curious. It defies every cliche you could have about a tarot family and a spiritual,
maybe Roma or Afro-Caribbean,
and yet defies every expectation you would have about a wasp.
Yes,
it's great. It's a really good synergy.
It also makes her different than her surroundings and makes her sort of precious in a way.
Yeah, very ethereal. Yeah,
that's part of it. That's part. It's scripted that way. I mean, she's a precious commodity. Until she betrays Mr. Big, of course, but she is a precious commodity up to that point. So.
Now, speaking of precious commodities, then you have the man who could have been Picard or Sisko, Yaphet Kotto.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow,
he's great. His attitude is just great. He's like a coiled cobra in this.
He must have been really young when he made this.
He was 34.
He was 34. Okay, well, he just acted forever and never aged a day.
He was born in 1939. So
okay,
I checked. I usually go through the cast list and
Yeah.
at least the main actors. But yeah, he was born in 39, so he was 33 actually when the movie was shot, I think.
He is believable as a very cultured Bond villain, and he is believable as a representation of the epitome of these cultures.
Right.
It's really interesting.
Yeah. Because he manipulates the cultures.
Oh, yes, he does.
To do his to cover for him and so on with the Baron. The Baron is really his number one.
Jeffrey Holder,
Yeah.
that guy, this crazy choreographer. When's he going to find a nice girl and settle down?
Walk, walk. For those of you who don't know, he was the director and choreographer of The Wiz. Back in the 80s, late 79, 80s.
70s, yeah. And the spokesman for 7-Up.
That's right. Cool and clean and no caffeine.
He was great. He's just someone you want to know more about.
He's great. He was
underused actor.
A very rich personality. Very rich personality. Yeah. And he's great in this movie because he epitomizes both the criminality and the supernatural elements of the movie.
I would say the chaotic elements.
Yes.
Because I could see this character just turning and going another way.
He is kind of a Loki, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while filming Diamonds Are Forever, Live and Let Die was chosen as the next Ian Fleming novel to be adapted because of the screenwriter Tom Mankiewicz had thought it would be daring to use black villains, as the Black Panthers and other racial movements were active at this time. Guy Hamilton was once again chosen to direct, and since he was a jazz fan, Mankiewicz suggested he film in New Orleans because the Utah Jazz were not always in Utah.
No, they were in New Orleans at that time.
Yep, they were in New Orleans. Hamilton did not want to use Mardi Gras since Thunderball featured Junkanoo? A similar festival. So after more discussions with the writer, location scouting with helicopters, he decided to use two well-known features of the city, the jazz funerals and the canals. To develop a better feel of how voodoo was practiced, Saltzman and Broccoli escorted Hamilton, Mankiewicz, and production designer Sid Kane to scout New Orleans further, and then the islands of the West Indies. Haiti was an important destination of the tour. And not only did Fleming connect it with the religion, there were many practitioners available to witness despite viewing actual voodoo demonstrations due to political unrest in the country at the time. They decided not to film in Haiti. Instead, they chose to film in Jamaica. So there you go, guys. Fun. I really love Roger Moore in this too. Him and Yaphet Kotto are so great together.
Great chemistry. Yeah.
Yes. And I love the little disguise Yaphet's character pulls off. He's got this fake skin on, which is really cool. When I watched this as a kid, I was not expecting it. It kind of shocked me as a kid watching this when I first watched it. But yeah, Jane Seymour, absolutely stunning and beautiful. And
Seymour.
Seymour. Sorry. Yeah. You do feel sorry for her character a lot.
Oh, I fell in love with her after about 10 seconds the first time I saw this movie. You really do want her to come out okay. Absolutely.
I think, too, what helps her character, too, is all the building of the culture. Because her character makes all the more sense for it, too. It's like, okay, you see how they're able to sort of stay ahead of seemingly Bond, but he sort of turns the tables on him by messing with him even further.
It's interesting because Mr. Big is both cynical in some ways about manipulating the culture and the superstition, but at the other end of it, he's dependent on her card readings.
Yep.
Yes, he is. He takes them very seriously. Which is, again, the movie fuses disparate attitudes all over the place really well.
and that's how people are sometimes. It's so it makes sense, in that way. It's great. It's a collision that happens, and
Yeah.
then some synthesis of that collision.
Yeah.
By the way, this movie also continues a long-standing Bond tradition. When there are armies of bad guys around, they're all color coordinated. These dudes are all in red. It's awesome.
Yeah, red shirts and blue jeans.
I like to, because the movies that we've seen, like Diamonds Are Forever and this, it gets away from Spectre, which I like the most. That's what I like most about these movies too. They're not continuing on that necessarily storyline or story thing. It's something
Even though we have Blofeld, I don't think there's a reference to Spectre in either of the prior two, in Secret Service or in this, and I think that's a Kevin McClory thing.
Yeah, probably so. Implication is enough, and if you want to be safe, that's it. So,
well, it's like Blofeld's now a solo act.
Right.
He's Rob Zombie,
but he's risen above mere organizations.
I'm bigger than this, guys. I'm out of here.
That's right. Who loves you, baby?
Lollipop.
Daniel, what did you think of Yafet Koto as the villain here?
I'd say he did a good job,
Yes, absolutely. It's amazing. He's going to go from this. He's going to be an alien. My God. Great actor. But yeah, he's also in Freddy's Dead as well.
And as I said, he
ends up in a TV
almost
series too. Is it Baltimore Life on the Streets or one of those kind of things?
It's a crime show.
Yeah.
And as I said, he was almost 2 starship captains. He was with Mitch Ryan and Stephen Macht of Galaxina.
Yeah.
He was almost Captain Picard. Yeah. And then he was red. I believe he was red again for Cisco, as was James Earl Jones.
Nice.
Yeah. I love Avery Brooks, but they missed the mark with not having James Earl Jones. I'm sorry.
Yes.
You could have had James Earl Jones.
You're gonna have a Tony Award winner. Come on.
I mean,
a guy whose career spanned like 3 decades by that time, 4 even.
I mean, that's your Patrick Stewart. I see your Patrick Stewart, and I raise you a James Earl Jones.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, because Patrick Stewart obviously also has cojones and chops for days, but wow.
Yeah, I know.
What's some of you guys' favorite scenes, Daniel?
I'm gonna go with the beginning. Like when the guy asks like what who the funeral's for, and they're like, "It's for you," and then they put him in that coffin.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's a nice little jump to start us off. Absolutely.
Patrick?
Oh, yeah, I agree.
The fat exploitation in the movie.
Yes.
But the guy getting swallowed up with the couch.
Yeah.
And then Yafet Koto, his bizarre ending. Just that blowing up like a balloon. Certainly, that's the most memorable. The rape.
Yeah,
which is memorable for the wrong reason.
Yeah,
but I can't get it out of my mind. It's not a favorite scene, but it's one I'll never forget.
Right.
And the alligators.
The alligators for me is
and talking about erotic pressure in the movie, J.W. Pepper.
Yes.
Inexplicable.
Who returns in our next movie? And probably made his $1 million playing Southern sheriffs, even though, guess what, folks? He's from Oregon.
Yeah.
And does not have a Southern accent, or did not.
Not at all.
He's
a normal guy, yeah.
But does have a great dialect coach, because he made a lot of money being Southern sheriffs.
He did. Yeah, he goes for the Sorrel Book Award in terms of having nothing to do with that culture at all.
Oh, no.
And Sorrel Book I think he was a symphony conductor or something.
Yeah, he was a massive artistic genius. I mean, the guy was
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask, because I just had to check, how much did the sheriff in this movie have an inspiration for Smokey and the Bandit?
Total. Oh, I think
Only
crazy
a couple of
amounts.
years before they went into production for Smokey. I mean,
Yeah.
72, and they went into
Yeah.
production for
I
Smokey
mean,
in
because
76.
I think it was on the set of Gator that that Hal Needham sketched out Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah,
And I don't know when Gator was shot or released.
74,
Well, shit.
75,
If that's the
75,
case,
maybe
then
75.
he knew this movie backwards and
I'm
forwards.
sure he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he's obviously, comic relief, and he's
Yeah.
brilliant. He's perfect.
Well, he is. It's almost incongruous in this film, but you do get away with it because it's in Louisiana. But
Mhm.
you just feel like we have tapped into something much stronger
Yeah.
and much more than this movie really should contain or could contain. How do we put it to work? And they do.
Absolutely.
It's a great movie.
I give this movie a 10, guys. What do you
Oh
guys
yeah,
think?
it's a 10. It's a 10. Live and Let Die's a 10, without a doubt.
I'll give it a 7.
Nice. There you go. There you go.
Which is a 10.
That's a high mark for you.
It is.
Tomorrow night, I'm going to somewhat defend Man with the Golden Gun, and
Okay.
not
That's
get
good,
shot.
man. I'm not saying it's totally terrible. It's
You're
just
right.
it's one of for me, it's one of the weaker films, and I think for a lot of people, it's one of the weaker films.
You'll
And
give it your.
I say this with all due respect to the actors in it, because
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a great
actors.
cast.
Yeah.
Joel, you give it your golden shot.
Yeah.
I like that.
Shoot your shot.
Well, here's one thing before we get to. You can actually, there's a site called www.jamesbondlifestyle.com, and they have the tarot cards on there shown. So I'll leave a link in the description box.
Oh great.
You
Are the
guys can
witches.
take a look at them. Also, link to Patrick McCray's Dark Shadows Day Book of Mountains going to be in the description box. Link to Alan Galant's YouTube channel. Colin's Sports After Dark is going to be in the description box. Link to Daniel Culver's YouTube channel. Magic Dove's going to be in the description box. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow for Man with the Golden Gun.
Peace out, guys.
I look forward to it.
Have a
Take
safe
care.
night, guys. Have a happy New Year.
Bye.
Yes, have a good
Bye.
one. Have a drink on me, because I'm not going to have one.
Happy New Year.
Bye.